Strong faith is actually long faith. Come on here. Strong faith is actually strong faith. Because when Jesus talks about faith, he talks about quality, not quantity, right? He talks about the strength of it, not the size of it.
Right.
He said, because you only need mustard seed.
Yep.
And he says, if you got mustard seed faith, you can move mountains.
You can move it.
I think sometimes we think we need mountain-sized faith to move mountains. And Jesus said you need mustard seed faith. So sometimes it's not. Does that make sense? And so when I say the strength of it, the strength of it is the length of it. And this is the third principle to progress. It is the principle of perseverance.
My God.
In Hebrews 10:36, this is what it says. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised.
My God.
He promised it, Pastor.
He promised it.
But I do not access what he's promised without perseverance. What is perseverance? Long faith.
It's long faith.
Come on here.
Yeah.
Strong faith is long faith.
Yeah. And I love, I always have to look up the definition. The definition of perseverance, it is steady persistence in a course of action, especially in the face of difficulty.
Steady persistence
in a course of action.
In a course of action.
Especially in the face of difficult, when it's hard.
Come on.
It's that long. Can I keep doing it?
Yes.
When it gets hard?
Yeah.
Can I keep doing it when I feel like giving up?
Come on. See, here's something you said that was so important, and we can't skip over this. You said faith leaks. Watch this.
My God.
And sometimes the longer the length, the more the leak.
Yes.
Right? So we start off on the faith journey, we believe it, but the more time it takes, the more faith in that starts leaking, which is why we need a replenishment discipline in our life, or a rhythm for replenishment when it comes to our faith. Faith is going to leak. So the question isn't, how do I stop it from leaking? The question is, how do I keep replenishing it?
Yeah, God, I love it, Pastor.
Because sometimes the length of it increases the leaks. The longer I gotta wait, the more my faith leaks.
And just using this whole leak analogy, I just thought about how sometimes the enemy likes to poke holes in our faith.
Not sometimes, all the time.
Doubt is a hole. Doubt is a hole.
Yeah.
Delays are holes that the enemy tries to poke in our faith, if we're using this analogy. And so sometimes we got to be willing to not identify the holes that the enemy is trying to use to make our faith leak. But just like you said, we got to plug and replenish when the enemy attacks. We got to replenish, but we also have to, plug those faith holes.
Yeah. You said doubt is a hole.
And delays.
So faith will leak.
Yep.
With doubt. So the enemy will plant doubt to poke a hole in our faith to make it leak. Delay is another one. Now, when you said that one, I thought about this one. Disappointment.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Disappointment
will create a hole.
And our faith can leak out of that.
Right.
So this principle of perseverance is important because it's a principle, guys, not a feeling.
Yeah.
What was the definition again?
It is a steady persistence in a course of action, especially in the face of difficulty.
That's what it is. It didn't say a feeling. I didn't see one feeling word in there.
It did not. It did
so
not.
Perseverance has nothing to do with how I feel.
Course of action.
It's action.
It's a course of action.
It's action.
My God.
And so the text says, Hebrews 10:36, I love this. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, New King James says, after you have done the will of God. So it means that sometimes there is a weight that I have to endure after I've done the will. See, doing the will doesn't always eliminate the weight. But the text says, after I've done the will, now I got to endure the weight. And my faith is tested during the wait. Come here. God does not test faith by the enormity of the obstacle only. I'm not saying he doesn't test faith that way. He does. But God also tests faith by the length of the wait. So he's not always testing faith by trying to get us to see how big we can believe. Sometimes he's testing faith by trying to get us to see how long we can believe.